This could be you, Libra. This is central to the month here. And this could be you, or this could be a partner that you're focusing on this month, whether that's a partner that's coming in or a partner that already exists. King of Swords is usually an air sign person. So Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. That's why I'm saying this could potentially be you. But it also could be a partner. So if you identify as Queen of Swords, this could be a partner for you. King of Swords is her natural partner. If you identify with the King of Swords, then this could more likely represent you. And King of Swords is someone who has good judgment. They're on top of their game. They have good ideas. They are the master of knowledge, wisdom, understanding. They have a good, clear, analytical, logical mind, and they're in alignment with the truth. And they usually have a fair amount of knowledge or wisdom or understanding. So if this is not you, Libra, which very well maybe, it could be like a mentor. Sometimes it shows up as like a lawyer or a counselor or someone that you go to for advice, someone who is an expert in the field that you want to become an expert in. And I often call this card King Solomon. So he makes decisions based on what his wisdom tells him, but what his experience, that's what these oak leaves represent, is that wisdom, knowledge, experience, and it's been growing for a long time. And that's how he gets this sword, which represents the truth. And these sheaves of wheat represent harvesting things, harvesting knowledge. So King of Swords is central to your month of April. Good time for decision making. It's a good time for being rational. It's a good time for anything that you want to really look into and make decisions based on the truth and knowledge and wisdom. Really good time for this, Libra. You're showing up as top of your game. Or this, like I said, this could be a partner that's coming in with this new infatuation, new moon in Aries in your 7th house of partnerships. This could be the king of air. You know, you are an air sign person. So either this is you or this is someone coming in. And potentially another possibility is this could be an air sign person in an authority position. So this could be a father, it could be like a landlord or an expert in the field that you want to become an expert in, that you get advice and knowledge from. And it could be like a lawyer that's giving you good advice. So that it's, or a counselor that's giving you good advice. All those archetypes fit King of Swords energy. What is in the shadow position is, this is interesting. This is interesting about decision making. Shadow position is 7 of Cups in reverse. So 7 of Cups shows you lots of options that are intriguing. And I kind of sometimes call this the Las Vegas card, because it means like not everything that glitters is gold. And it means like, you know, check behind the curtain before you make your decision. It has a lot of Neptune energy. You can see all the fog in the card. So it sometimes means what you see is not what you get. And it can mean that don't just choose something out of what catches your eye or what sparkles. It's sometimes a card of do your research. Things are not as they appear. And especially in reverse and in the shadow position, there is something among the choices that is not showing up as what you think it is. And it's not, even though this is, interestingly, can be a card of infatuation as well as this. So you may have a range of options that make your heart leap. But I want you to be careful with evaluating. That's King of Swords energy. I want you to be careful with evaluating and having a good, cold, hard, sober look at things. Use your air sign to be detached. Use your mind. Because among these options, the 7 of Cups, something is not appearing as it is. Something is shinier on the surface than it is in real life. And you may have to take some real consideration to what's going to satisfy you, because you may be tempted to go for the thing that appeals to you on the surface. It may be like, oh, it feels like velvet on the surface, but inside it's, you know, it's something else. So I want you to be careful with your decision making. Something is not as it appears when this card shows up. And in the shadow position in reverse, really need to take time to evaluate your decision making during April, okay? Because there's something that's not not coming to light. There's something in the shadows. There's take time to research, do your homework, do due diligence before making any choices. You'll use your mind. You'll be rational. You'll be clear and logical. He makes excellent decisions, but you're going to have to weigh your options. Don't just grab at the first thing that comes to you, because it's encased in this Neptunian fog. This is sometimes looking at things through rose-colored glasses and seeing what we want to see and believing in fantasies. Don't do that, Libra, especially not this month. It's interesting, too, because I see two kings fighting here. I see the King of Air in conflict with the King of Wands. The King of Wands is not seeing things correctly, and he's on his way out. So this is sometimes a fire sign person, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, and they're usually very bold and eccentric. So this could be like leaving an old boss and going to work for someone who's more fair, who is less unpredictable, less eccentric, less, doing things in his own unique, bold, creative way. This guy is pretty whimsical. Like, this is actually the card for Mozart and Walt Disney. Like, they just do things. They're unique. They're creative. They do things in their own unique way. But in April, he's not serving you. He's actually fading away into the distance. This is your passing away position. So I'm seeing two kings, King of Swords and King of Wands, fighting it out. But King of Swords has your back. If this isn't you, Libra, King of Swords is the one that you want to trust. This is good decision making. This is not being erratic or passionate or whimsical or eccentric. He's on his way out. He's not serving you. This could be like a boyfriend that's leaving, or husband, spouse leaving, and this is the one who's featured. This is the one who's central. Either that or there's two people fighting for authority and power struggles, because two kings, you can't have two kings in the castle. So this could be you, Libra, fighting with a fire sign person, and both of you are like head to head. But this person's passing away. This person is dissolving whatever. If there is a conflict and a power struggle going on, this person's going to be fading into the background. They're in the passing away position. What's approaching, and I do show a certain amount of, this is the person who's central. This is the person who gets success. This is the person you can trust and who makes good decisions. What's approaching for you is a time of perhaps overthinking things. So whereas this guy has one sword, you can see he's in alignment with the truth. Perhaps sometimes when we hit a point of authority and we are seen as that expert, that's another word for this card, we can take it almost a little too far and get too into our minds. And that's when this card shows up. This is a card of worry and anguish, Nine of Swords. You can see the tension in the hands here, being the fists are bound up. And this card is a card of when there's too many thoughts about something. It's like going in circles in your mind. And Libra, since you're an air sign, you may be able to relate to that. That's like your mind having a mind of its own. This is tension, worry, anxiety, too many thoughts. Making mountains out of molehills, splitting details. If you do have any position of authority, especially if you're overseeing people, be careful not to be like micromanaging, or this is splitting hairs. Again, making mountains out of molehills. Choose 3 problems to look at. Don't look at 9. If you have thoughts that you're tangling with, if you have problems or things that you're thinking over, that's fine, but don't make it into more than it is what this card says. Don't spend time in fighting yourself in your own mind. Sometimes a good way out of this card is to connect with the other elements, because this is too much air. So you may need to incorporate water, earth, or fire, which means water is emotional energy, which is showing up for you. Or be near a body of water. You look at pictures of water. Earth energy is spending time in nature, spending time gardening, anything that connects you with the earth. and then anything that grounds you, like a grounding meditation perhaps. And then fire energy is action, it's creativity, it's inspiration, passion, motivation. So it's anything that makes you go. But it looks like water energy is highlighted for you this month. This is, again, that young, pages are the younger side of things, and the Page of Cups has to do with the heart. That's what cups represent, emotion. And you can see the heart is leaping here. That's this fish jumping out of the water. It's what makes my heart leap? What excited me when I was a teenager or an adolescent? If you can relate to being that free and joyous and just being, emotionally present and raw and open. That's what pages are about, being open and willing. So this is like being open to love, being open and willing to share your heart. I sometimes, like I said, read this card as infatuation or puppy love. So I want you to consider, because this is the highlighted card for you for April, what makes your heart leap? What makes your heart jump, Libra? And can you remember what it was like to be a young teenager or an adolescent, and what turned you on, what made you happy, what made your heart sing? Because it's saying you need to connect with that energy that's featured for you in April. And with this relationship energy with new moon and Aries, I'm going to say, be open to love. It's kind of showing up for you. You might have to just access the younger side of yourself. If this is you, you can sometimes get too wrapped up in your head and be very serious. This one's not serious. This one is like, what video game do I like? What kind of food do I like? Where do I want to go? It's just like, who do I want to spend time with? Who do I want to be with? Who do I love? So those are some different things that these can mean, but I'm seeing Page of Cups energy is featured for you. That's the younger side of ourselves, and it's the heart side of ourselves. So let that play out. Just make good decisions about where you put your heart energy, because you're kind of getting, both of these cards are infatuation, but this one has to do with like choices are not necessarily what you think they are. This is like what you see is not what you get. And this one is just being open with your heart. So use your mind, your good King of Swords energy. He was one of the best decision makers ever. So use your mind to choose things, but keep your heart open. And then first week of April, I have 7 of Wands. This means success despite adversity. So if you're facing challenges, realize that you're in an advantageous position. It may not look like it or feel like it when this card shows up. Sometimes it feels like he's fighting everyone off. He's holding his ground, but he's having to fight all these people off. But also another interpretation of this card is that he's standing his ground and he's leading everyone. So all these people are following him. So what this card means is be assertive, stand up for what you believe in, defend your position. And if you're experiencing adversity, this card is a great card of success despite adversity, because it's about recognizing that you're in an advantageous position. He's above everyone else. He's fighting them off. They're down below and he's above. So that's what first week of April is about. Second week of April, there may be a delay in something. 8 of Wands is about swiftness. It's about getting that last puzzle piece, things coming together. Things are 80 to 90% lined up, and you get that last piece of information that unlocks all the info, unlocks the puzzle. But when it's in reverse, it either means that things are happening too fast or not fast enough, that they're in delay. That you want to push it forward faster, but something's not happening as fast. But it's saying that the water's almost boiling. This is sort of like, in reverse, it's also could be like a watch pot never boils. So it's like about to boil. The heat is happening and it can rush quickly. But if you're staring at it, it may delay it. That's what 8 of Wands in reverse can say. Either that, or you're trying to rush something and it's happening slower than you expected, or maybe it's happening faster than you can stand it. But I'm getting for some of you Libras that it's in delay and you want it to happen right now. You want that last part to click in, but you kind of just got to wait. There may be a delay to the 8 of Wands finishing. It's still happening. That water's still about to boil, but it may just not happen as quickly as you want it to. With the third week of April, we've got Page of Swords. This is, again, the younger person who's open and willing, but he's open towards a certain thought. So this means declaring your truth. I'm really getting that you may need to stand up for yourself and declare your truth, and especially in relation to this King of Wands person. Again, potentially Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or authority figure who's leaving. He's surrounded by Seven of Wands, standing up for what you believe in, King of Swords, in alignment with the truth, being an expert, being the master, challenging that authority, and Page of Swords, defending your ideals, saying, this is what I believe in. These are my thoughts. I'm willing to fight for this. I'm open to discussing this, and I will, I can slice this subject open with my sword. I'm willing to stand on the top of the hill and declare this. Sometimes this reminds me of a very dogmatic, college student who has discovered, I want to save the world. This is what I believe. This is what I think, and I'm willing to go into battle to do it. So I'm declaring what I think, what I believe. Very interesting, powerful cards about standing up for what you believe in and declaring what you think and believe here, especially related to this guy. Then the last week of April, Three of Wands. So this is your visioning card. This is about creating what you want to see come into fruition. It's a dreaming card. 3 is creative energy, and Three of Wands is about, what do I want to create? What am I envisioning so that I can make it happen? I think for the last week of April, for some of you Libras, it might be helpful to create a vision board or write down what it is you would like to create. What would you like to see? He is overlooking this open, vast horizon. And sometimes it's pictured as him looking out on his empire that he's going to build and dreaming up, what do I want to create? What do I want to build? What do I want to bring to myself? So when this card shows up, I encourage you to dream, vision, envision what you would like. Sometimes a vision board can help you to do that. This is very creative energy, and you can draw this to yourself. So a vision board or writing down what you would like to create, that can be featured for you in the last week of April, Libra. So I like what's coming in for you. This love energy, this expert, again, standing your ground. If this is you making good decisions, you've got the Page of Swords to support you in that. Or this could be that partner coming in. If you're a Queen of Swords as a Libra, this could be King of Swords, the partner to Queen of Swords. It could be letting go of an old partner or letting go of an old authority and standing up for what you believe in. If you're male Libra, this could be also, or female, you could be butting heads, with another person of authority. You may be an expert in this field, and this person's an expert in this field, and the two of you are not seeing eye to eye. Just stand in your truth. You're in the center. You're featured, and then make good decisions, especially regarding your heart. There may be some things that don't appear to be, they appear differently than what they are. So that's in the shadow position.